Hi, and welcome to Somerset County Library's Personal Enrichment Program online. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make this cute Summer Petals Scarf. This is actually a free pattern that I was able to download from a website called Willow Yarns. So you can download that at willowyarns.com. And I do have some copies here at the library if you would like to pick one up at the library. Okay, so for our scarf, I figured with summer coming up in the spring, and scarf to make that'll go with your summer and spring outfits. So you can pick whatever color for the flower that you want. You can have multiple color flowers. It's up to you. It's your scarf, so you can do whatever you want with it. And we have 3 colors.
I have a yellow that I'm using for my gold. And then I'm going to be making my flowers blue.
And then I have green for the main part of the stem and the leaves. So let's get started and I'll show you how this works up. Now they say the skill level is easy, but in reading through the pattern there is a lot of different techniques that they use. So I'll take you through each one step by step.
Okay, so each flower is going to start with a gold middle. Let me get my yarn here. And this pattern is using an H hook. So I have my H hook here. And we're going to start with what they call a magic circle.
And to do that, you just simply wrap the yarn around your fingers.
Then you're going to stick the hook in through the top of the loop, draw up a loop, yarn over, and then draw through that loop. And then we're going to make 5 single crochets. So we're going to stick our hook through the big loop, draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through both loops. So I haven't made a knot or anything with this. I'm just holding it in place. I have a great big circle. I'm just sticking my needle in, drawing up a loop, yarning over, drawing through both loops. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5 single crochets. Okay, and then the really cool part, the magic part, you pull on this short tail, and there's your circle. And I'm actually going to do a slip stitch in that first stitch that I made. So I'm going to place my hook under both loops of that first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then just pull that loop all the way through. And I'm going to snip my yarn. I'm going to fasten off, yarn over, pull through that loop to fasten off. And they say to weave in your ends as you go. So I'm just going to hook through there. I'm just going to weave that in back and forth a few times. And then snip off that end. And the same with this long end here. I'm just going to weave it under these stitches that I made. So you'll see the stitches are made up of like 2 parts of yarn, so we're creating a V. just going to weave that long end underneath some of these stitches. And then I can snip off that end. Okay, so that is one center. And you're going to need 28 of these. So you can do them all at one time, or you can do them each flower separately. Whatever works for you. Personally, I think I want to complete one whole flower. Alright, so with my second color, the color they call B, I'm going to slip stitch into any of the single crochets from the flower center. So I'm going to stick my hook in through the top two loops that make up the stitch, yarn over, pull through a loop, and yarn over and pull through that loop. Now we are going to chain 4, so we're just going to yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop, and number 4. And we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So that'd be 1, 2, that's the second chain from the hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. That's a slip stitch. Second chain from hook and in the next 2 chains. So I'm going to slip stitch and another slip stitch. And then going to slip stitch in the single crochet, or the next single crochet. So the next single crochet of the center, I'm going to do another slip stitch. And that'll be one petal of our flower. So we're going to do that. We're going to repeat that from the asterisk to the asterisk. So we're going to repeat that whole pattern of chain 4, slip stitch and second chain from the hook and in the next two chains, and then slip stitch in the next single crochet. And you're going to do that all the way around, and you'll end up with 5 of these, we call 5 chain 3 bars. Okay, I think I had an extra stitch in there somewhere. So I have 6 petals on my flower, but that'll be my odd flower. Alright, so working in the first bar, I guess this is the bar, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 chains, 3 single crochets in the tip of the bar, and work down the opposite side, single crochet in the next 2 chains. Working around the slip stitch in the next slip stitch of the next bar, and repeat from the star all the way around. Okay, so we're going to do 2 single crochets. We insert our hook, drop a loop, yarn over, and draw through both loops. Okay, we'll get to the tip of the petal here, and we're going to do 2 single crochets, or no, 3 single crochets in the tip. So we insert our hook, and we're going into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and again into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. And that is going to give us, by having the extra stitches in that one stitch, that's going to give us a nice smooth petal. Okay, and then single crochet in the next 2 chains. Okay, so then in that slip stitch, we're going to slip a stitch, yarn over, and just pull through both loops. And then in the next 2 chains, again, we're going to do 2 single crochets. And then when we get to that tip of the bar, we're going to do 3 single crochets in that stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to single crochet down the other side. Oops. Yarn is a little stiff. So you can experiment with different types of yarn, different size hooks. Depending on what yarn and what hook you use, it'll give it a little different look. And that can be a good thing. This is just the pattern that we have. But you can take this pattern and adapt it to your use. I've even taken flowers like this and I've made them with crochet thread and used them to patch holes in jeans or add some add a little something to a blouse or give it a customized look with and embellishment. Okay, we're going to do 3 single crochets. And I'm just going to continue doing this all the way around. Insert my hook in that first slip stitch, yarn over and slip stitch through, and then fasten off. And then I can weave that in. And actually I like to leave a little bit of an end, and then after I've washed the garment I can snip it off. That way if there's any shrinkage or anything, you don't get this funky looking fuzzy sticking out. But there is one flower. Okay, so that is how you make the flowers. Okay, the next thing they have is, and we'll be making 28 of those. And then the next thing they have us making is called curling leaves. So I'm going to take some of my green here. And I'm going to just make a slip stitch, have my loop, stick my hook in, pull that yarn through to make a loop, and then I'll tighten it up. Okay, so we're going to start out with 10 chains. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through that loop. I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so 3 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. So in this hook or this chain here, I'm going to do 3 single crochets. That's 1, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next 8 chains. So each of these chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Yep, so each of these chains we're going to do 3 single crochets. And that's all there is to it. And by doing multiple stitches in one stitch, that's what's going to give us that rippled look. That'll make it look like a leaf. Okay, so I've done my 3 single crochets in each of my chains, and you can see it sort of like spirals in, and that is going to be our leaf. We are going to make 5 of these, so let me go ahead and fasten off. And again, we can weave our ends in. Just trim those up, and there is our leaf. Okay, so for the scarf itself, we're still working with our green, our leaf color, and we're going to make our slip knot. And we're going to start out with two chains. And beginning in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do what they call a foundational single crochet. And in the pattern, it does explain to you what the foundation single crochet is. So we're going to insert our hook into the second chain from the hook. Going to yarn over, pull through that 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. That's going to be a chain stitch. Then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. That makes a single crochet. So what you're sort of doing is creating the chain and the single crochets at the same time. So we're going to do that 5 times. So the next stitch, or next foundational single crochet we're going to insert our hook in this chain stitch that we just made. Yarn over, pull through that loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop to make another single crochet or another chain, and then yarn over to make our single crochet. Again, we're going to put our hook into that chain stitch that we just made, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through that loop to make another chain, and yarn over to single crochet. So that was 1, 2, 3. Need to do that 2 more times. So 4. And 1 more time. Okay, so next we're going to chain 2. And And we are going to do a whole bunch of different stitches into the second chain from the hook. So we're going to insert our hook into that second chain from our hook, and we're going to do a single crochet. Easy. Next we're going to do a half double crochet, and to do that you'll yarn over, insert your hook into that same chain, yarn over, pull through. You now have 3 loops on your hook, and to make the half double crochet we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, now we're going to do a double crochet, and to do that you yarn over, we're going to insert our hook into that same chain, yarn over, and again we have 3 loops on our hook, but this time we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops, so then you're left with 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So that's a double crochet. And now we're going to do a triple crochet, and that is going to yarn over our hook twice, then we're going to insert it into our chain, yarn over and pull through a loop, and this time we have 4 loops on our hook. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's a triple crochet. Now we're going to do a picot, and the directions do tell you how to make the picot. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain from that hook. So in that 3rd chain, I'm going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, and pull through that loop. Okay, so after the picot, we're still in that chain that we've been working in. We're going to do another triple crochet. So remember, you yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, then we're going to do a double crochet. So we yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then a half double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And then finally a single crochet. And you can see you just made a leaf. Okay, next we're going to slip stitch into any stitch in the center of the back of our flower. So we're going to take our flower and into the center of any of these stitches we're just going to slip stitch. Let me get my hook in there right. Yarn over and pull through both loops. And we will be doing that. What I ended up doing was after I slip stitched into the back of the flower, I chained 2 and then I did my leaf pattern because I wasn't liking how it was looking. Okay, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into a different stitch here. And that sort of attaches everything. All right. Once we have our 2 leaves, now we're going to do 5 foundational chains. So I'm going to chain 2. Remember, foundation chain or foundation single crochet. We're going to go into that second chain from the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through one loop. Oops, I just want one loop. Go back there. And then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We're going to do that 5 times. So go back into that chain, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through once, 1 loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so there's 5 foundation single crochets. Okay, so after our 5 foundation single crochets, we're going to chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to drop C, so we're going to drop our green, and we're going to join B, so whatever color petals that you are using. I'm going to grab B, and we're going to join it. We're just going to take it and pull through a loop. Okay, holding my tails together, I'm going to pull through that loop. And then the second chain from the hook, which will be that loop there, we are going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2. Okay, and as I'm doing this, I'm holding the 2 tails together, and I'm working them into my work. So I'm holding them right next to the chain, and as I'm going into the chain, I'm holding them right there next to my chain, yarning over, pulling through my loop. So when I do this, what it's going to do is trap the yarn into the stitch, so I don't have to worry about weaving it in later. So we did 3 single crochets in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next chain twice. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that again in the next chain. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to fasten off our blue. Okay, so I'm leaving this loop here, and I'm going to go into the second chain from the loop, insert my hook, and I'm going to yarn over with my blue. I'm pulling that up, and I'm going to attach that. That'll be 1 single crochet, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. That'll be 2 single crochets. And then I'm going to do that in the next 2 chains as well. So yarn over, pull through, 3 single crochets in the next chain, and 3 single crochets in the next chain. And you'll notice I'm holding the tail of my yarn right next to my stitches that I'm working, and I'm trapping that yarn into the stitch as I'm working. So I'm going under into the chain, holding that tail right there next to my hook, yarning over, pull through, yarn over and pull through, and then it just traps that yarn right in there. So then I don't have to worry about having to weave in any ends. They're already woven in for me. And then I'm just going to finish off. Now this end I'm going to need to weave in. Okay, we're going to go back and pick up our green. I'm going to chain or do 3 single crochets in the next 2 chains. So we're going down here at the end where we just finished making that bud. We're going to insert our hook and do 3 single crochets. And then into the next one, 3 single crochets. And now we're going to do 5 foundational single crochets. So we're going to chain 2, go into that second chain from the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And we've done that 5 times. Okay. And then we're just going to repeat that whole thing, starting up here with at the asterisks, making our leaves, attaching our flowers, doing a little bud, and we're going to do that 18 times, ending with 5 single crochet or 5 foundational single crochets, and then you'll fasten off and weave in your ends. And then you can attach more flowers if you want. And attach the curling leaves wherever you like to include your curling leaves. Just like there's 5 of them, so you just spread them out throughout the scarf. And just attach them with a slip stitch to your chain somewhere along the line. So I can go ahead and attach this one. And I'll just pull through and do a slip stitch. Then I can always do another chain at the top there. and just continue moving on. And this is actually pretty fun once you work out some of the weird directions, but so I'm actually looking forward to finishing this. I think it'll be a fun project to work on, and it'll be really pretty once it's done. So I hope you give it a try. Like I said, you can download the pattern from Willow Yarns. Of course, you can use whatever yarn you want. You can use whatever colors you want. Experiment with different size hooks. Make it fun. Make it your own. So I hope you will give this a try. And I'd love to see what you do create. So if you want to share a picture of what you've created, I'd love to see it. And I'll see you next time. Good night.